Hello, my name is Kyle Steele. I'm a candidate for Norman City Council, Ward 6 in the upcoming election cycle, and this is the summary for the City Council meeting that happened on December 9th, 2025. As usual, the agenda packet as well as timestamps to all the descriptions will be linked down below. This meeting lasted just over 3 hours and 15 minutes. So to sum up the standard portions real quick, the main announcement is that this is going to be the only City Council meeting for December because of Christmas. Another meeting, a subcommittee meeting, it got moved around as well, but the website for City of Norman meetings is up to date. So if you want to make sure when meetings are, you could just check on there. I'll also link that down below just for this kind of a summary here. In addition, two longtime city employees, Brenda and Anthony, are going to be retiring. Brenda is the city clerk and Anthony is the director of a department. Combined, they have over 50 years of experience in Norman, and so their loss will be felt somewhat until their replacements essentially kind of get up to speed and pick up where they left off. As far as the awards, proclamations, minute approvals, and consent docket, that all went as expected, and all that was approved unanimously. The first non-consent item that was discussed that took up the bulk of this meeting was the building of the OEC substation out in Ward 5. This has come up in past meetings. However, it was delayed pending litigation. That litigation was concluded, and OEC is gotten the legal all clear to move forward now. Say that we're bringing this item back before the City Council. OEC is essentially saying that this substation in Ward 5 is needed because their electrical grid is starting to reach capacity, and if this grid isn't built, then you're going to start seeing blackouts for some of their customers in winter and summer months as the grid continues to get strained, and this is essentially needed to help fuel the growth of those areas of Norman in the years and decades to come. It was specifically mentioned that this is not going to be for a data center of any kind, and although the plot of land itself is about 100 acres, the substation itself is significantly smaller. With like a frontage roads would obviously be needed to get to the substation, things like that. As far as the public comment, residents of Ward 5, particularly those who lived immediately next to where this substation is going to be, were voicing their concerns about it. A few other residents also voiced concerns about the watershed in the area, as OEC is going to have to be spraying pesticides or herbicides and things like that, as well as potential runoff, water runoff being affected because of the material that is being used to construct this substation. Ultimately, many council members did express the difficulty of having to weigh the personal impact of the substation to surrounding residents versus what the electrical needs for the OEC customers in rural Norman are. Ultimately, this measure did pass, with Councilmember Blodgett the only one voting against it. The next topic was over a requested rezoning of an area around Chautauqua. This item agenda, just to cover it quickly, was postponed until next year because essentially residents in the area are very concerned about what is being proposed to be developed there, and so city councilors and city staff are going to continue to work with residents. This item is expected to not come up again until February 10th, 2026. The final pair of topics that was discussed was around the Norman Regional Hospital Authority. Essentially, the ordinance and resolution was to expand the current board members of 2 to include people who may not live in Norman, however, are still in areas that Norman Regional services. Essentially, Norman Regional has grown a bit and they service some non-Norman residents. So, a couple of non-Norman residents may deserve to be on this board of this trust to give input on this. This passed unanimously, as well as the companion item, which was to alter resolution with how these board members are essentially appointed to allow for the appointments of out-of-city residents. Moving on to public comment. The public comments, including concerns about the substation vote that had just occurred, flock cameras, the monthly finance report, request to update the economic development resolutions from the past, concerns about using public money to incentivize large private businesses coming to Norman that may not require those financial incentives, and just generally over, kind of where the city is heading with, these finance projects and things like that. So with that being said, that was the end of the meeting. Once again, after around 3 hours and 15 minutes, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you are more than welcome to email me at KyleForNorman@gmail.com. Thank you. Have a good evening.